So if you're listening in, we're going to go live on YouTube. We're having some technical challenges with LinkedIn. So join us on YouTube. Check out my name on YouTube and you'll find us there. Join us there. Okay, I see that there's been a change in how YouTube and Zoom talks. Zoom says this is live, but YouTube isn't picking up. Are we actually live? If you're listening in, we're going to go live on YouTube. We're having some technical challenges with LinkedIn, so join us on YouTube. Check out my name on YouTube and you'll find us there. Join us there. Okay, I understand. We are actually live on YouTube. We're having some challenges with LinkedIn, so join us on YouTube. Check out my name. But it's on a different link, so that's very interesting. If you found us, thanks for your patience, because I see that there's a new way that Zoom and YouTube is connecting, so that's very interesting. So you just need to post the link to the new feed on the other video. Okay, flexibility is the name of the game, right?
Yes. It's okay. These things happen.
I finally found the video so I can post. Okay, we're gonna start this show. Today's guest is someone who is doing great things and serving wholeheartedly. And when I see someone doing great things, I like to invite them on so we can have their wisdom shared. And tonight is going to be transformational. So I'm so excited to have today's guest with me because I said I like to invite people to do great things. However, this person is not doing just great things. This person is doing outstanding things. So that is why we have with us. So say hi to Mehwish. Hi, Mehwish.
Hello.
Hi, all the way from the UK.
Indeed.
Yes. Hey, could you share like one sentence, two sentence introduction about yourself for those that haven't met you yet?
Hi, I'm Mehwish Sadiq Bhatti, and I live in UK. And it's great to have you join me today. And I hope what I share today will impact and bring some positivity, and you'll get to know the real me.
Yes, we will for sure. There will be inspiration and transformation through this. And could you share why you started sharing your inspirational messages on the platforms you're on, like YouTube and LinkedIn? Because people really resonated with your message. You were able to build a following. What inspired you to start sharing your message? Maybe you start off with what is your message?
Well, my message is to transform lives positively. So when I was facing hard times, I would often visit LinkedIn only to check my notifications, but also noticed many religious and positive quotes and felt as if these words were spoken directly to me as I was praying to God for answers. And they would start with, God is saying to you today. We know that God is everywhere, yet he does not appear directly in front of us to convey the message. Those messages really helped and strengthened me. And even till today, I find them as fascinating, despite of sharing my own daily inspirational messages. I don't know how, but one day after reading Verse of the Day, I suddenly decided to share this with my audience. Afterwards, I felt it is also important to share an inspirational and motivational quote from my diverse audience. I believe that if these quotes can uplift me, then surely they will encourage someone too on this platform.
Yeah, and you see that with the following you built, right?
Yeah, so although LinkedIn is a profession not for job seekers, but my personal belief is that even professionals need motivation to keep going. And in terms of YouTube channel, that was a future plan. I've been serving in the church as an old age interaction leader, as a church deacon, youth club leader, Sunday school teacher. And one day my sister said to me, "You love serving God, so what don't you do on YouTube?" And I waited for 15 minutes, thought about it, and I thought, that's it. This is the time now. And there was no looking back.
Oh, yes.
The next day, I created my account on YouTube and I started working on my content to inspire many around the world. So this is how my journey started. And because each of my videos that I share on my personal uh, life experiences emphasizes the importance of staying strong in difficult times. And MSB Ministry, Motivating Spiritual Beliefs, is my channel's name. And I put a lot of thought into finalizing the name. It is also open to any other religious believers because no matter what religion we follow, it can often create that distance between us and God, especially when we encounter hardship. And I'm really blessed that most of my subscribers are non-Christians and they equally feel motivated by my videos, which I
Yeah.
have created based on Christianity.
Yeah, because facing hardships and thriving through challenging times, that is at the essence of your message. And you faced challenges yourself as well. So, what would you say to someone if they really facing challenging times right now? How can they stay strong and inspired despite the times, the turbulent times they're facing?
Well, in order to stay strong, I personally pray a lot and I don't pay attention to where I am. What this means is I will be sat at my work desk with my eyes closed or even walking in my lunch break, praying and listening to hymns for encouragement in challenging times. I also meditate on certain Bible scriptures that are a great reminder of God's power. Now, if I need to overcome my problems to cope, I need to talk with God to help me feel better. But I do understand this may not be relevant to everyone, as we all have different beliefs. But there are ways we can still overcome despite of being spiritual or not spiritual.
Yeah.
Because not always my prayers get answered. So I have to look for an alternative way to come out of that situation to move forward.
Yeah, so what would you say to those that don't necessarily believe in God or a high power or source of spirit, whatever people call it? Because you said many of your followers are non-believers at the moment as well, or non-religious. So what would you say to them? What are some tips for those in when they're facing hardship?
Basically, they have to train their mind to cope with that situation. And honestly speaking, it is challenging for me too, as often I come across situations in my life where I'm not so strong and I struggle. And like I said, I have trained my mind to overcome this. Many of my audience is unaware that sometimes when I'm sharing those inspiration messages, I'm also feeling low myself. But I never let this affect me to stop inspiring others. So it's really important to stay focused on the problem, but also think about the solutions. Like yesterday, one of my Facebook friends messaged that they wanted to speak to me because they lost their job, despite of trying for the last month and fasting and praying. And I just simply told them, well, you have to stay strong and trust in God's plan, which is much bigger and better. And the reply was, please keep me in your prayers and thank you for the encouragement. So all I do is share my personal life experiences where people can resonate and say, okay, Mehwish can cope, so can we. I analyze the situation and try and find solutions where I don't think about it a lot, and try not to worry about it because it's not going to really help me. And I strongly believe you can use the same energy to either worry or stay strong. And I always try and reflect on the good things from a bad situation.
You know, I think that's profound because we always have a choice. Like what's wrong or like what's bad or like the problem is always available. And so is a potential to look at what could the solution be? What could I learn from this? What could be a gift or a blessing or a lesson in what I'm going through and keep working towards what you really want in that situation. That sounds like something really good. I found that to be really helpful as well.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time to do that. And I must say, I have struggled myself, but there are times where I've built myself to that point where if I start worrying about anything, I will divert my mind and think about something else and look at the good things about that situation and solution. And then gradually you become stronger and more positive, and you're able to cope with it more easily and not let it take over you in your life.
Yeah. And if one find oneself maybe sucked up or like that the energy or the focus goes to like the problem or one starts thinking life is really hard, why do I have to go through this? How can people snap themselves out of that so they can get to focus on the positive? Because as you say, it's something we can train ourselves to do. How do you work with people in order to being able to help people shift that perspective from that problem to the solution focus?
Well, I always recommend think about the other people around the world who are in worse situations than yourself.
So perspective.
Change your perspective. Think about the good things you have in your life compared to some other people. You know, okay, you haven't got a job, but you are physically fit to find a job. What about those people who are physically disabled, yet they're struggling and managing their lifestyle every day? So, mind is a very powerful tool, and you have to train it in a way that it works around you rather than takes over you. So, most of the time, I share my own personal experiences and say, this is what I've faced, this is what I've done, and look, here I am right in front of you. So I've got so many examples that I can share, and people often understand and think, oh, yeah, actually, there are solutions and there are ways that you can cope with this problem. So this is what I recommend. There are other things. I mean, I like being spiritual. I use God, prayer, listening to hymns every day. That helps me. But if you're not spiritual, there are other ways like you can focus on yourself, give yourself time, talk to yourself. Okay, you face this problem. How are you going to come out of this? That's what I do. I talk to myself and go and listen to some soothing music. Think about the problem in your mind, analyze it, sit by your pond, just feel the fresh air, look at the creation, and make yourself feel relaxed. Just enjoy that moment because tomorrow is never guaranteed. So you're going to waste all your energy worrying about things that can potentially have no positive outcome anyway. So you're only going to affect your physical health and nothing else. And that's what I've learned. By worrying about things, it's only affected me and hasn't really brought a solution. So now, if I'm driving and, I think I got caught by a speed camera, I don't worry about it until I get a ticket and say, okay, you've speeded. So I had that a few days ago and I thought, I'm not going to worry about it. Nothing's come yet, which is great. But you have to tell yourself, you have to be strict with yourself, you have to work on yourself. And this is the path that you will take that help you be a better and a stronger person. And when you come across problems in your life, you will be able to manage them more from a positive perspective rather than a negative perspective, and just basically lock yourself in that problem and let it just come and gather you, and where you just have no energy to even think about the solution.
It sounds like this is maybe a formula to the title. turn worrying to victory,
Three.
right?
Yes.
It was just beautiful listening. I love that with I found something in everyday life as well. I know maybe not everyday life, but the fact that if you go traveling or if you
Mhm.
meet new people, as you referred to, we can get perspective on life and we can remind ourselves to be grateful for what we have.
That's it. Gratitude. That's really important. Now, every morning I get up, as soon as my eyes open, whether it's 3 a.m. and not even time for me to wake up, I kneel down and thank God for a new day. Gratitude is really important. It makes you realize the good things and the gifts you have in your life and not just the problems, because we all go through problems in our life, but gratitude really helps. And that's
Yeah,
really important. So whenever I share my post on LinkedIn about new month, I always mention about being grateful and taking that time out of your busy life, just few seconds to say, thank you, God. And if you're not Christian, just saying, oh, well, thank you that I'm still alive and I'm still able to do things that make me happy.
it comes
And
back to the choice, right? You can either focus
yeah,
on the problem or what's great.
yeah, we take life for granted, but we do never appreciate the gift of life, and that's really important. We're so busy in our busy life, every day trying to focus on the things we want to achieve, but we forget the main thing that we're able to do this is because we're alive, and there are many around the world who are fighting and struggling, and wish that they could live few more days.
Yeah. And in terms of hardship, elaborate upon a challenge you've been through and how you were able to turning that worry to victory. Because you're the one that came up with that title for this episode, which I really loved as well. So, what is a hardship you've been through where you were able to turn that worry to victory, other than the speed ticket?
No, but there's something related to that. So one of my personal experience,
And you got more than one.
yeah, which led me to choose the title "Turning Worry to Victory" is very recent. So basically, 2 weeks ago, I lost my car keys. Somehow they fell out of my pocket. And when I realized, yes, I was worried, panicking, in a real bad state. And I immediately started praying with a lot of faith. But unfortunately, the keys were not found, even with the CCTV footage. So I was very disheartened after this bad news, as I was very hopeful the keys will be retrieved.
Yeah,
And I thought to myself, well, I'm safe, so is my car, and I can still drive. Of course, it was totally unexpected, but these things happen. And I told myself, some people are facing worse situations than me. Also, it's likely that somebody has access to my keys and they could have driven off. So let's just not worry about it and move on, because worry won't bring my keys back. Instead, I must focus on the solution, which means now I have to order and pay for the new car keys. But that's what I mean. I had to train my mind to come out of that situation and not let it overtake me. So I worry and worry and worry.
yeah,
So, how we turn a bad situation into a positive lesson is really important. Like I said, it may take some time to train your brain, which is what's happened to me, I think, probably for the past 5 years, but it's definitely worth it. And although I'm strong, yet I do worry too, because I'm still a human with lots of emotions.
it,
However,
it's a
to
job of the
turn,
brain.
yeah,
Yeah,
but however, to turn the worry into victory, often I process the situation in my mind and find ways to think about the positive side of that problem and how it was an experience for me to learn something which could have been worse. So it's like, imagine yourself. If you're worrying, then you're trapped in a dark room by yourself. But when you want to turn that worry into victory, you become strong and fight against that darkness to find ways to get into the light. And one of my tagline I use in my YouTube videos is come out of the darkness and step into the light. And there are many personal experiences I've shared on my YouTube channel, emphasizing when in my life I had to practice this to carry on with the journey and turning my worry into victory.
And what I'm hearing on that journey is so important to take out time to consciously reflect so we can find that lesson in what we've been going through and taking that time so we can redirect focus. So it's about carving out that time, prioritizing that for reflection,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, yes. And Mehwish, you have shared that you want to become like a mental health mentor. Share with us a profound experience in your life, maybe a hardship, profound hardship that you went through that have prepared you for stepping into that role too.
Well, I had a very traumatic childhood, and often this can leave a dramatic effect in life, which is very hard to overcome. It took me years to come out of that trauma. Also, lots of my co-workers suggested that I should become a life coach, as they felt I brought a positive energy into workplace. I was even given the name Smiler and Sunny because as I walked in, I would always be smiling and happy despite of facing hardship and problems in my life. And I know there are many living with various traumas, and if I can inspire others and live a positive lifestyle myself, so can these individuals. I just want to help them as it hurts me to see them in pain and struggling with their mental health. I expressed interest in becoming a psychological well-being practitioner because during my voluntary work as a mental health mentor, my first client suffered from postnatal depression, and we normally offer 12 sessions, but my client was independently going out with confidence in 6 weeks. My manager was really impressed with the progress and gave me a very positive feedback. So I genuinely have a passion for changing lives positively.
Yeah, results is what matters. Being able to
Yeah,
that kind of
absolutely. And I believe through my life examples, many lives can be transformed spiritually and non-spiritually. I know this is already happening through my post on LinkedIn. I have a belief that small steps lead to big destination. Therefore, I always found ways to overcome and convince myself that whatever happened is part of God's plan. And if you don't believe in God, then whatever is destined, it will happen in your life. But how you overcome it is a challenge that one needs to work on to accomplish their life goals. And I want to be part of their journey to help them achieve their dreams.
that's the invitation. And before we wrap this up, Mehwish, I have a final question for you. And what is a challenge that you're currently facing?
Time is the biggest challenge at the moment due to other commitments. I want to reach out to more audience and help more people through other media platforms because my ultimate goal is to become a motivational speaker. And I have many approached me who want to follow me on Instagram, including yourself, as this may open many more opportunities for me, but due to time restrictions, I'm only able to manage my digital missionary on LinkedIn. It also breaks my heart to say that I'm not even much active on my YouTube channel, which is my real passion in serving God and my audience with the content that builds hope. I've been asked many times about my YouTube channel. My subscribers are waiting for me to upload my next videos for more inspirational. And the other challenge I'm facing is on LinkedIn with my spiritual posts. Some have objected for sharing religious posts, but my point is, why do businesses share on Facebook as this is a social media platform and not professional networking? So I think if LinkedIn does not have a problem with me sharing, then why should anyone ask? And if I don't agree with anything in a post, I skip and move on. I have a free will and have the right to share what I feel is relevant to my audience. And my purpose is simply to encourage as many as possible around the world with my content. And if God has chosen me for this on LinkedIn, then I shall continue the journey despite of these challenges, as I have received so much affection and appreciation that it motivates me to even carry on and ignore those negative feedback. Now the world sees what I'm doing, but God sees why I'm doing it. And because of my faith, I'm here as a guest speaker. And it's my privilege to be invited by you. So it has given me a lot of blessings, a lot of opportunities, a lot of followers, over 24K followers in the last 5 years. Now, it tells me something that despite of this challenge that I'm facing on LinkedIn, people are still connecting with me. Like in 2 days, I would get 50 connection requests. And that's very overwhelming for me. Then the amount of messages I get, connections being appreciative of me accepting their connection request means a lot. I'm nothing. I have no value. I'm nothing without God, but how people appreciate me and recognize the true soul that I carry with me every day on LinkedIn, that's what keeps me going. When people ask me to pray and the prayers get answered, that's what keeps me going. I will get all that challenge on LinkedIn, but it doesn't stop me. It makes me go even further, inspire more people. It's that craving. I need to reach out. I need to help more people. So, time and LinkedIn, yes, is a challenge, but with God's grace, I'm coping with it. And one of the examples is that I'm here as a guest speaker with you. So, there you go. That's this
Nothing.
says it all.
And one key thing that I'm hearing everything you're saying and in our interaction before this live session as well is that gratitude shines through. You've been expressing that very much. So that just shows that you are living out and breathing what you're teaching. And another thing that I think a lot of entrepreneurs or people who want to accomplish something and have success, whatever success means to you. For some, it's a career advancement. For some, it's being comfortable in a job. For some, it's building something to share, have a mission, impacting people, whatever it is. But as maybe shared, I'm hearing like you are hungry. You are so driven by impacting people, and that is what really drives you. You have such a strong passion for that. So
Mm.
when we can find those strong reasons why, we will find a way. We will keep going despite hardships, and we will be able to overcome these struggles or worries because we know why we're gonna keep going. So it's been beautiful having you here. Mehwish, you are active on LinkedIn, especially. You also do have a YouTube channel, but can you just mention your name or your channel name so people know how to find you in case they wanna follow you?
Yeah, it's MSB Ministry, Motivating Spiritual Beliefs.
Yes, we're gonna put it in the comments as well so that you can tune in with Mehwish moving forward. Mehwish, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure having you, and we will stay in touch and hit the comment box if you're listening into this. Let us know what your biggest takeaway is. We would love to support you on your journey. So let us know in the comments what's been your biggest takeaway. So we're looking forward to hearing from you to support you. Mehwish, thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much for inviting me.